Welcome back. Time now for the Prep Spotlight. What a weekend for high school basketball. Buzzer beaters, heartbreak, upsets on the girls' side. Doug Ritchie here to help break it all down. Welcome back from Madison, Doug.
Yeah, you know what? I don't know if it's legal to have this much fun in a week, but starting with the Appleton East Germantown buzzer beater, and Appleton East had plenty of time. That was a legit 3.8 seconds. Yeah, no question there. And then last night with De Pere in the state championship game that just ended like 5 minutes ago.
Exactly, just got done.
Unbelievable week of basketball.
Let's start with that Division I boys basketball finals as De Pere. You know, what a game this was. Multiple overtime. We've seen so many multiple overtime games this year, Doug.
Yeah, I guess I'm getting my money's worth watching all these games because they never end. Yeah. And this one should have ended a couple times, maybe for De Pere winning the state title. And I'll tell you what, I didn't play, but I was nervous. I had tension.
Yeah,
I think the only people not nervous were probably the kids.
Memorial tied it up with just at the end to send it to overtime. And then De Pere tying it up once again at 78. And then really Heartbreak City is the clock winding down, a runner to win it. Memorial wins it in triple OT. Our Justin Felder was in Madison for the excitement as well.
De Pere boys basketball hadn't won a state championship in 77 years. It had been 34 years since they'd even made it to states. But last night in Madison, they took part in a game that won't soon be forgotten. It was a game that featured a ridiculous 25 lead changes and 3 overtimes.
I can't tell you how proud of my kids, how they just battled all night. They couldn't have played any harder.
De Pere had their chances to win, most notably the first overtime, up 2, but shades of Chris Webber at Michigan calling a timeout they didn't have, allowing Madison Memorial to tie the game up.
I just reacted, and it was just complete reaction. I just called timeout, and it was a mistake. I mean, kicking myself in the rear end over it.
It was body blow after body blow in 3 overtimes, but in the end, De Pere ended up on the wrong end.
It was so up and down just watching it go back and forth so many times, but we played as hard as we could, and I couldn't ask for anything more from those guys in the locker room.
It was a great experience. It was by far the best basketball game I've ever played in my entire life.
5-10 years from now, I mean, we're going to look back on it with all positive memories. I mean, being on this team is just such a family, and it's been such a great experience that I'm definitely not going to ever forget it.
The first triple overtime game in state championship game history. Certainly a fantastic game to cap off a great season for the Redbird boys. In Madison, Justin Felder, Fox 11 Sports.
Thanks, Justin. Redbirds came home today with a state runner-up silver ball. They came in and cheers from their fans, and I guess from mom, you know, that's the way it is, Doug, you know?
That's right.
Disappointment for these guys, though, but still
Absolutely.
Very proud of their accomplishments.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting last night when they took the team picture, and come on, kids, smile. But it's tough to smile when you just lost a game like that, but they still had a great year.
Yeah, obviously some disappointment mingled in, as we say, but happy to have gotten as far as they did.
Last night it was sort of hard to take it all in, but this morning when I woke up and it was all raining, and it just really set in, and I don't know, it's tough, but it was a good experience, so I'll get over it.
Not to let that game define our season, because we made it as far as we could. Just happened to lose the last game, but it was still an awesome season.
Well, it really was. Anytime you win the silver ball in Madison is a great event for your program, but just tough to have to lose it in that fashion.
Yeah, you almost rather lose by 20 because then you don't get the heartbreak. You're like, you know what, we weren't good enough. They killed us. But when you lose the way they did, and I thought there were a couple occasions where they had Madison Memorial and they just couldn't pull it out, it's tough. But, you know, these kids will look back in a week, a month, a year and think, what a great year. And you know what? No one else has brought back a silver ball to De Pere in a really long time. Yeah. So the Redbirds had a great season.
Hey, congratulations. Congratulations to the Redbirds, to be sure. Let's take a quick look at the rest of the finals winners in the other divisions around state. In Division II, Merrill meeting up with Whitefish Bay, who broke Seymour's heart with a buzzer beater. In the semifinals, Blue Dukes seeking their third gold ball with the help of Kellen Johnson and Ron Patton, who combined for 37. They are victorious. Whitefish Bay rolls 65-49. Division III, a couple of private school juggernauts. Aquinas and Racine St. Cat's going toe-to-toe. St. Cat's, of course, knocked out Little Chute. The Angels, two-time defending state champs, with the Blue Goals led this one start to finish. John Bronson Koenig's 15 points. And for the first time, St. Cat's loses a title game. Aquinas, third state championship. They beat the Angels 40-34. Meanwhile, in D4, one-loss Marathon going up against Grantsburg. Cody Hankey led the Red Raiders with 24 points, 9 boards, and look at this dunk. Marathon wins its first state title since 1977. None of these guys played for them at that time. It's 4th overall. Final tally 52-43 Red Raiders. And in D5, perennial Powell Randolph, who barely got by Green Bay NEW Lutheran in a great game. Paired up with Clayton, Bob Hafley, the reigning AP Coach of the Year, has led the Rockets for more than 2 decades. It's all about winning balance in Randolph. 4 players scored 9 or more points. The Rockets win their 9th state title, building on a state record with a 49-38 victory. All right, now, Doug, of all the boys' programs who didn't make the finals, and we talk about Seymour and Little Chute and some of those other teams, who do you see getting back there next year?
You know, I like Little Chute. Mickey Martin's got a program where they're not reliant on 1 or 2 kids to score. They play great defense. The last 2 years, they've lost a total of 2 games in the Eastern Valley Conference. He's got something going there, so I like what he's got. He's got a good sophomore in Turner Botts, who got injured in the game against St. Cat's. So I like Little Chute to maybe make another deep run.
Well, we'll see next year. Well, let's take a look at this year's girls teams. We start in Division I. Couple of Super Tuesday matchups. One of them, the De Pere girls, looking for a shot at state. Surprise of the tournament, really Green Bay Preble beating Pulaski to go against De Pere. Redbirds able to win the final, and they'll take on Nicolay UW Oshkosh on Tuesday, Doug.
Yep, it's state-ranked teams. Nicolay's number 2 in the state. De Pere's in the top 10. Going to be a tough game, and but you know, De Pere's playing really well the last 15 games or so, just like Preble was when they met up, and I think this is going to be a really good game in Oshkosh. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Girls hoping for another shot to get to Madison.
De Pere girls basketball has been a program that's been very successful, and myself and our staff and the girls take a lot of pride on continuing that, on building on that program and that tradition. And you know, every step closer to Madison is a huge accomplishment, and take a lot of pride in it.
Also going into Super Tuesday, Appleton East, who beat Oshkosh West in 4 overtimes. We've seen some great games this year, I'll tell you.
4 overtime sounds like you made it up.
I know. How many? 14 overtime, 26 overtime. Sure, why not? They'll play Eau Claire North at Stevens Point Tuesday. What do you think about that?
Eau Claire North's a very tough team, but Appleton East just won 4 overtimes. Maybe they won't be sweating, but they'll be ready.
So far, proud of what they've done.
You know, and I told our kids that this is state. You know, this is state. The Final 8, I know we're going to Stevens Point. We're going to play a great team. But you know, this is state, and I'm sure proud of our kids.
All right, so here's what it looks like for Super Tuesday. And it really is state. It has been for years and years and years, and now they're just playing them on Tuesday in neutral areas. Appleton East, Eau Claire North, that'll be at Stevens Point, and De Pere Nicolay. Both should be some pretty good games.
Good games. De Pere Nicolay is both games should be at state. De Pere Nicolay is a state
type
final game.
It could have been a state final game, absolutely. All right, meanwhile, Division II, overall number 1 seed, Luxembourg Casco, looking to punch the ticket to state. New London trying to join them as well. Let's start with LC. They did it against Beaver Dam, 10-point win. Lux Casco, they've looked like a state team all year long, haven't they, Doug?
They have, and the impressive thing here is Beaver Dam went to state in Division I last year.
Wow.
Now they go to Division II with basically the same team. LC takes them out. LC's playing really well right now.
Well, Lux Casco managed to get the win over Beaver Dam. They're headed back to state and maybe trying to duplicate that 2004 run to the title.
It's hard to describe in words. Maybe the best word could be exhilarating. It was a nice moment in the locker room afterwards, and the girls excited. And we know Luxembourg Casco's got a great tradition. We've been down to state before, but this is all new to them. I'm guessing that when they were younger, they were watching our 2014 go to state and do some good things there. So this has been their dream all along.
Well, we remember that 2004 team, poor athlete Joyce and all those
some
folks.
players.
There's some great players there, and certainly this year's team has some great players as well. New London gets there as well. They'll be going up against Milton. That game will be Friday at 1:35, and Lux Casco Whitefish Bay, that will be Friday at 3:15. Great afternoon of Division II basketball on that day for sure. Division III now, matchup of a couple of 1 seeds and sectionals to get to the state. 2 1 seeds, Freedom and Kewanee, meeting up with a trip to Madison on the line. Even with that number 1 seed, though Freedom really the favorite over Kewanee, but Kewanee pulled this thing out.
Kewanee, I think maybe what turned their season, not that they weren't playing well, but maybe an extra belief is when they knocked off Algoma. They've been rolling ever since, and now they knock off Freedom. This team believes. I mean, they're just playing great basketball right now, and obviously this is the best time to do it.
Yeah, Kewanee, a team with no seniors, says it's a credit to the entire program.
You know, in the late 80s and 90s, I took this team to sectional finals and never got over Kimberly, but it's really special with my daughter being involved in the team and all the kids that I've coached since they were 3rd grade on. It's just amazing. These kids just played with a lot of guts and heart.
All right, so here's what it looks like for Division 3. The Kewanee Dominican game is going to be at 10:30 in the morning on Friday, so that should be fun to watch. All right, let's go to Division 4. We expected Algoma to roll, but maybe not this much. They've been shooting the lights out for sure. They won their first playoff game by only 65 and routinely been winning by 30. They're pretty good.
Yeah, they're good. They took it easy on Edgar. They only beat them by 30. They're saving it for the state championship.
Yeah, first time since '86, Wolves state tournament bound. Yeah, they only won by 30 against Edgar, as you mentioned. So here's what it looks like for them. They will be taking on Oostburg, and that's 8:05 Thursday nights. And then the early game there, Regis and Westby. So that'll be it. And finally, in Division 5, St. Mary Central had a shot in the sectional finals, but ran into that buzzsaw that is Wausau Newman. And Cardinals' Taylor Thomas is headed to GB next season. Shows why she was recruited. Newman Catholic won in a big way, and they're a very good team.
Yep, so St. Mary Central had a nice run, but eventually hit some big dogs, and they hit a big one here.
Yeah, Newman far too much to handle. Cards win big, 79-21. So in Division 5, Prentice River Ridge and Newman Catholic against Blackhawk, and the Newman Catholic, the prohibitive favorite probably in this bracket here. All right, Doug, you headed back to Madison again this week?
Apparently I am. We got some teams there.
You can see lots of Doug's work online as well. New material just about every single day on our high school page. It includes in-depth interviews, game recaps. We'll have a girls' state preview, photo galleries, question and answers, Q&As with Doug Ritchie. Doug, have fun in Madison. We'll see your reports from there.
I'm hoping for the same thing as last week, but with a gold ball.